This earn by time, feature has been something that we've been thinking about for a few years now. And it's because, one of the hardest challenges about a platform like the DoorDash platform is we have people who come from very different needs. Mm-hmm. We've had over 13 million Dashers in our lifetime who've generated or earned over $35 billion, since inception. But 90% of them dash fewer than 10 hours a week. Mm-hmm. And, the average is, even less than 4 hours a week. And so you have a small portion of Dashers that sometimes, see this as more of a full-time opportunity, but the vast majority kind of come for sometimes 30 minutes a dash, sometimes up to 10 hours a week. And so it is tough to solve for every single particular use case. But one of the things we've heard is that there's kind of two modes, one of which is Dashers kind of feel like they understand how our platform works. They like the idea of assessing which orders are better for them versus which orders are not as good for them. And so they like to earn, by each offer. And especially now that we're getting into grocery deliveries and in-store shopping and package returns and all different types of tasks, even beyond restaurant delivery, they like that choice. Yeah. On the other side, some people get overwhelmed by that choice and they dislike the kind of variance and sometimes it's a high paying offer, sometimes it's a lesser paying offer, sometimes there's a tip involved with the order, sometimes there isn't a tip. There's a lot of variables I have to keep in track. Can you just actually, simplify it for me and give me the consistency of earnings that I expect for the limited time that I do this? Yeah. And that earn by time feature that we just announced, that's where it comes from, but it came from years of hearing this feedback and trying to actually, get to frankly a certain scale of business where we can actually reliably and predictably offer that and then actually ship it in a very responsible way.
So you guys were, I think, really the first company, and I think it's pretty innovative to launch this, sort of earn by time offering, now available as an option really to Dashers everywhere. Do you think that there is a specific type of Dasher or type of person maybe that this is right for? I'm thinking in my mind, like new drivers, new Dashers, hey, you just kind of want to learn more about the system, how it works. Maybe you're not as concerned with maximizing your earnings. Is there another kind of profile that you had in mind, or who's this kind of product, the best fit for when you were designing it?
Yeah, I mean, when we first started, it was actually exactly what I think our early hypothesis was kind of very similar to, the setup of the question, which was for Dashers who are maybe less experienced, right? Whether they're new Dashers or just Dashers who are infrequent and don't come onto the platform a lot, but when they do come on, they do expect to see the reliability and the consistency of those earnings. That was kind of the first take. As we started talking to more and more Dashers, however, there are Dashers because they come in and out of my platform. It's not like they come in and then they leave, they never come back. Mm-hmm. There are Dashers who've been with us for years who actually gave us feedback that said, actually that's not so bad. Yeah. Because I think one of the things we've learned, kind of the through line through 10 years of doing this and, having seen over 13 million Dashers, both the stories as well as the data, what it would suggest is that everyone is looking for some goal. Mm-hmm. They're coming to the platform for some goal. The goal could be to save money for a project, school. It could be to buy a particular discretionary activity, go on a trip. Yeah. It could be to get a gift. It could be to any near-term needs for housing or other types of activities. And as a result, it wasn't just new Dashers or lesser experienced Dashers who wanted the reliability or the consistency of the earnings. It was actually there's a large contingency. And the way we thought about it was when we are now responsible for so many Dashers, as well as, we recognize we're not maybe the main thing for them, but that the fact that we can be a place for them to reduce their financial stress and burden, we have to offer the maximal choice. Yeah. And that means for certain Dashers who love, doing the analysis and figuring out every single order, that's awesome. We got to keep that for others who maybe don't have the time or maybe don't have the desire to do that. We do need a solution.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what we've seen in the Dasher community with the sort of, I know you guys have been testing the earn by time, and a lot of Dashers are out there sort of thinking, all right, comparing earn by offer, earn by time, there's peak pay, right? There's a lot of factors that go into it. And I guess the nice thing, I guess to give you guys some credit, you guys are kind of putting your money where your mouth is and saying, hey, we have two options. We're not forcing anyone into either option. Because I think that's one thing that, sometimes it feels like, working in the gig economy, there can be strings attached.
Yes.
We're going to give you this, but we're going to take this, or we're going to lower this. So in your mind, is there any downside? What expectations should Dashers have here with the earn by time? Is there what's not great about it?
Well, in fact, we've been thinking about this idea for years now. And it's the implementation detail that matters, because one of our design principles was that, the earnings have to be roughly the same.
Yeah.
So that no Dasher is advantaged or disadvantaged depending on which choice they make.
Got it. So is that the goal?
That
you
is
would
totally
sort of earn
about the same, in either mode. But that takes iteration, and especially as we're introducing more modes of dashing, whether it's grocery shopping, retail delivery, package returns, etc. And as a result of that, it took us some time and iterating and trialing before actually rolling it out.
Yeah.
And so, and also, back to the previous question around, who's this for, whether it's for, lesser experienced Dashers or newer Dashers, it also took us time to learn that actually it was for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't something we should just target one segment. And as a result, we took our time to make sure that we can roll out responsibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one thing that, we've seen and heard from Dashers when it comes to earn by time, I guess if I was going to point out a complaint, it might be, right, that it's for active time, right, from the time that you accept an order to the time that you go. So if you're sitting there, not busy, never getting an order, you're not necessarily being paid for that. So talk a little bit about that, because I know that might come with some strings attached, right, if DoorDash had to pay for that time too.
Yeah, so our goal is always to keep people busy when they want to be busy. Right. Obviously, there's times that people don't want to do certain orders or don't want to deliver in certain areas, and we obviously offer the choice to reject those orders. And for us, it's our job is to minimize, any wasted effort, maximize the efficiency, for the entire system. Right. DoorDash only works if it works for every single participant, and I'm not just talking about Dashers now. I'm talking about consumers. I'm talking about merchants. And so we run this pretty complicated system where on every single order, literally, we have at least 3 people involved, right? There's a consumer who has to place an order, a merchant who's obviously preparing the order, and then obviously a Dasher who's doing the fulfillment. And so that's the orchestration. And the goal is to make sure that there's zero wasted time.